Task Factory is a suite of SSIS components available from PragmaticWorks. In this video, we'll look at the advanced email and SMS task. In a previous video, we created a data flow task that would take some data out of a table and place it into a simple text file. We then used Task Factory's compression task to zip the file up. Then in a subsequent video, we used the Task Factory's File Properties task to retrieve information about that file, and we used an Execute SQL task to log that information to a database. Now that's all well and good, but what if you wanted to take it to the next level? What if you actually wanted to email a notification to somebody that the file had been created? Or even better, actually email that file itself. To do that, we can use Task Factory's advanced email and SMS task. We'll drag it and drop it on the screen, and make it a little bigger, and then we'll hook it up. And we'll open it up and start editing the properties. Okay, the first thing it wants to know is, what connection are you going to use? From the drop-down, we're going to create a new connection. And now we have the Email Connection Manager up. First thing we need to indicate is the protocol. Well, because we're going to be sending an email, we're going to need to use SMTP. And for my mail server, I'm going to use my Google Mail. So smtp.gmail.com, and I'll give it my user ID and my password. Now, one of the really cool things about the Email Connection Manager within Task Factory is that it supports encryption. Here, I can support TLS or SSL. So we'll pick SSL, and we'll have to change it to the corresponding port number, 465, and we'll leave the timeout set to 60, and we'll come back here and give it a test. And our connection succeeded, and we can say OK. Now for our subject, we're going to say, here is your file, and it's going to be from my name, and we're going to send it to a mail recipient. To do that, I hit the drop down, and I can pick either email or SMS. Since we're going to send a file, we're going to have to do it over email, so we're going to do that. We'll use my work address, pragmaticworks.com. OK. We'll leave the priority at normal. We won't carbon copy or bulk copy anybody. For the message source, we'll leave it at direct input, which is what you're going to see down here. Let's come down here, and we're going to say something like, greetings, human resource. Let's see. And for the file name, rather than having a static text in here, we can actually use one of the variables we have. We have our file name stored in the output file, so we're going to come over here, and when I click on this, it's going to copy it to the clipboard for me. And then I can come back over here and paste it in. And let's give them a little more information. Let's tell them how big it is. And we'll put the file name over here. Let's tell them when it was created. And we'll use the last write time. There we go. And we'll just give them a nice, and we'll sign it. Okay, there we go. Now, to make this really spiffy, we want to actually email the file as an attachment. Now, we could come up here, click the drop down, and browse for a file, but that kind of locks us into a single file name, which isn't all that useful. Fortunately, our email task supports expressions, so I can come here and click on expressions, and the property I can actually pick my attachments. And I can come here to my variables. I can grab my user variable. And we're going to use the output file here. There it is. We'll drag it down here. We'll do an evaluate. And there it is. That's what we want. We're going to click OK. And we'll click OK again. Now, when I send this out, it's going to actually attach the file indicated in user output file. So now I have a way to dynamically attach my files. I'll click OK. And now when I run this, and we can see it running. There goes the compression task. And now it's emailing. The length of time it takes to email can vary depending upon what your bandwidth is like, how big the file attachments are, those kinds of things. And there we go, our email has been sent. Let me go over and check the email box and we'll show it to you. And sure enough, here it is sitting in my email box. The message emailed to me, which Pragmatic Works is pleased to tell me about. It's got the file name, the size, and when it was created. Of course, you'll probably want to do some cleanup, maybe add some more text of your own, but you get the idea. This can be a great tool for sending out messages. And not only that, you can do it securely because the email task supports SSL.